Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar hosts, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast, brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB, and download the app in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. You will not regret it. Everything you need in the palm of your hands to build your winning DFS lineups. Hey, if you like NBA, they got the showdown. If you like MMA, Conor McGregor Poirier 3 on Saturday night. They got all the good stuff on that app. All sports, all different sites, Yahoo, FanDuel, DraftKings, you name it. They got it. So go check it out in the App Store and download the good stuff there. You can find me on Twitter at BDendrick. My co-host is Twitter on Bogman Sports. And all I got to say is the Franamil was unleashed, Bogman.
Got a homer for you. I did not get mine. Humphreys did not get his, I don't believe. So you were the solo shot for us. And it was a game winner, too. It was a big one.
Walking it off.
I love that. Now, Scherzer and Darvish didn't look as good as we thought. So,
No.
8-8 that game is at right now as we start recording this. So it is definitely a strange day across baseball, but they seem to be getting stranger and stranger every day.
Your top pitchers were Zach Eflin and J.A. Happ.
Like we predicted, for sure. I think I ragged on Happ and you ragged on Eflin. So
yeah,
it's just opposite day. And Bubba got a homer. That's how you know it's opposite day.
He's got jokes, people. He's got jokes. You know what isn't a joke is we got 2 rainouts on Thursday because that's what baseball does.
Blue Jays and Orioles, like we thought.
Yeah, that one happened, and then the Mets. Hey, at least the Mets got it out of the way early. I'll give them credit for that. They got it out early, so that's good. But we have 14 games on Friday for the last slate for till next Friday.
A week.
So
we're going to be gone for a week, guys.
I don't know what Bogman's going to do. I'm going to have withdrawals by Tuesday. But yeah,
I think I'm going to try to catch up on my sleep. So
that's my plans as well. That and play with the LineStar app. That's what I'll be doing. So 14 games. Let's get at it. The one thing I want to mention real quick, we have 3 games with potential rain. Doesn't seem like a lot of rain, but you have Pirates, Mets again, about 30% chances. Keep an eye on that. It's kind of what we saw yesterday, and they decided to cancel it, so keep ready. Phillies, Red Sox, 20% chances. No. And the only other one we have is Chicago and Baltimore, 15 to 20%. So I feel good about those. Just keep it in mind, though. That's all I'm going to say. Just want to let you know going into it that we're in a funky way. It's the last remnants, it seems like, of the hurricane that went through there. So first game of the evening, Chicago White Sox, Baltimore Orioles. Just talked about 15 to 20% chance rain in this one. You got Dallas Keuchel, Jorge Lopez, over under. We kick it off with the banger, 10.5. Keuchel 7,200 on DK, 68 on FanDuel. Lopez 53 on 63. All the bats, or do you want Keuchel on this one?
Got a lot of bats listed here, so I will not take Mr. Kelly Nash. Pass on him. There's some PVP data on both sides in this game. Mullins is 2 for 5 against Keuchel. Severino's 2 for 6 against Lopez. Yoel Moncada 6 for 11 with a double and 2 homers. 3 for 8 for Jose Abreu with 2 bombs. 4 for 8 for Leury Garcia with a homer as well. And then there's hot hitters on both sides. For the Orioles, it's Hayes, Urias, Valakia, and then Vaughn, Collins, Anderson, Hamilton, and my favorite, Berger. 27 and 2,000. Nice cheap option has been hot as well. So I will stick to bats and no and F no to the pitchers.
Yeah, some great value in this one. As you mentioned, even Cedric Mullins is still far too cheap. Keuchel got blew up his last start. So that's good to see. He's not going to strike a lot of guys out. Another good thing to see there. But the White Sox will be the heavy favorites in this one, of course. Moncada's heating up a bit. You mentioned Leury Garcia. He is crushing the baseball right now. Really is. And he's got a price up to 37 on DK. FanDuel, he's still very, very cheap, but he was mid to high 2s up until his last game. So Garcia's getting the bump, but you got a lot of Orioles below 3K on DK and low 2s on FanDuel. And then you mentioned Vaughn is a great value. I've mentioned it a few times. He's hitting lefties and righties right now, so don't pass on him. Zach Collins is a very good offensive catcher. He's going to be playing for Grandal quite a bit. And then Jake Berger as well. He's hitting it good. And Gavin Sheets, if he's hitting second. So there's a lot of White Sox value to have in this one against Jorge Lopez, who we love to take to Pound Town. Atlanta, at Miami in this one. You got Charlie Morton, Zach Thompson, over under 7.5. Morton 96 on DK, 1,000 on or 10,000 on FanDuel. Thompson 69 and 96. Quite the price discrepancy there. And I tend to agree with FanDuel a bit on this one. Do you like either pitcher?
Yeah, I mean, I like Thompson a little bit. Morton has been good recently, at least 7 strikeouts in his last 4 starts, but his 2 starts against Miami, he has 10 innings pitched, 9 earned, good with the strikeouts, 12, but 6 walks. So not really interested in Morton in this game. You mentioned it before too. A little different without the sticky stuff from Morton. Thompson, only 5 games started so far this year, but 2 of them have been against Atlanta. 11 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 12 strikeouts to 1 walk. So Thompson, I think specifically, like you mentioned on DK, is a great buy here at 69 and 96. There's some PVB data a little bit against Morton, just Jazz Chisholm, who's 4 for 6 with a homer against him. Against Thompson, Dansby is 2 for 5 with 2 doubles. And then there's hot hitters on both sides. If you're not going with Thompson, you can pay up for Freddie if you want. Acuna, Riley, Orlando Garcia has been hitting. So is Abraham Almonte. And then on the Marlins side, Starling Marte, Garrett Cooper, Jesus Aguilar, all have been hitting as well. So I think I like Thompson and some Marlins bats.
Yeah, Garrett Cooper keeps mashing and does not get a price bump. So thank you, both you sites. Thompson, I think at $6,900 is a great value on this slate. Braves bats, they're overall pretty cool. They blew up for 14 runs against Pittsburgh. Okay. Other than that, they've been pretty much dreadful. So I like going to Thompson as a value play. Morton, I like when he's cheaper, and like we were talking about, since the sticky stuff's been in, he's been much more mediocre. So I'll pass on that one. I don't mind a little Miami action to be contrarian if you want. I am glad on the Braves side you mentioned Orlando Garcia playing every day for Atlanta. Very cheap, and he's hitting. He's hitting a lot. So ride that bat while he's hot. But Thompson's probably my favorite play in this game between Atlanta and Miami. Nice value as an SP2 on DraftKings. Kansas City at Cleveland on this one. Brad Keller versus Tristan McKenzie. Over under 9.5. You using either pitcher on this one?
No. I mean, this is McKenzie's first start in the big since June 12th. Keller, his last 4 starts, 21.1 innings pitched, 17 earned, 14 strikeouts to 14 walks. So let's go bats. And there haven't been a lot hot on either side. Little PVB here. 3 for 5 for Franmil with a double against Keller. 2 for 5 from Mercado against Keller, and then Perez, Salvi, Hansford, Alberto, Nicky Lopez, Carlos Santana, all been hitting. Not a lot hitting on the Tribe side. Hernandez and Jose Ramirez outside of Franmil are probably the guys here. So I would love to use the bats, but there's not a lot to pick through.
Yeah, both these offenses are very frustrating. Could they go off at any time? Sure. I will keep using the Franmil, though. Like, he is just crushing everything right now, and he's cheaper tonight than he was last night. So that's fun. So I like him quite a bit. Carlos Santana did hit 2 home runs on Thursday night. If you think he's starting to get into a groove, you can go there. Salvi and Witt are always in play if you want them, but it's pretty much Franmil is like the only guy I want in this game. With 14 games, I can kind of be a little picky and just hope this game's kind of a dud like most of the times these 2 teams play, and go from there. Philadelphia at Boston on this one. You got Vinny V, Garrett Richards, over under 11. 11 in Boston. Not Coors, not, Dunedin, Florida, Boston. You got Vinny V's 85 on DK, 62 on FanDuel, Richards 8K and 59. Are you going to try to make an argument for Vinny V, or is it all about the bats?
No, it's about the bats. I mean, look, Velasquez, he sometimes hits, but I'm never going to be the guy that hits with him because I'm just never going to buy him. Richards, I'll buy sometimes, but his last 4 starts, 16 in the third, 15 earned, 9 strikeouts, 8 walks. No thanks. They're both playing like crap right now. So give me bats. Bogart's 3 for 7 with a double against Velasquez, 5 for 18 for Brad Miller against Velasquez or against Richards. So just has seen him a bunch. There's hot bats on both sides. It's the expensive guys for Boston, Devers, Martinez, Verdugo. Then on the it's also expensive guys on Philly side. Harper and Hoskins are expensive. Kutch is still kind of cheap. Cheaper on DK too, 32 and 34. Gene Segura, 33 and 31. So I'll stick to bats in this game.
Yes, Richards is broken without the tack. Broken.
Yeah.
Vinny V, he's always interesting, but I'm not going to go there. He pitched well his last time out. Boston's getting better at the plate, though, so I'll avoid that. But the Phillies are one of my favorite stacks. You give me You give me Richards with this offense. I'm very mad that Brad Miller hit 3 home runs on Thursday night. That does not make me happy. Now he'll be popular, and that's one of those guys that I had in quite a few lineups in my 20 max just tonight because I liked the value, and I would have loved it against Garrett Richards. I still will. Just he's gonna be more popular. But Harper, I've been saying his name at every show. McCutcheon, you mentioned at 32. I love the Phillies. Stack the Phillies up against Garrett Richards. Pittsburgh at the New York Mets in this one. Brubaker versus Stroman. No total because actually I think it might be Taijuan Walker now with the rain out.
That makes sense.
I think that switched over. I think I saw something on that about an hour ago. So Brubaker versus Walker, and I believe Walker is about 84 on DK. It should be close to similar prices as the night before. Brubaker 69.7 because it's the same matchup from the night before. Yeah. Did anything change for you?
Oh, I'm still in on Walker.
Yeah, me too.
I'll take him for sure. I mean, I kind of like Stroman here, but he's been bad, so I'm glad that we're going back to Walker. So Walker for sure. As far as the bats go, I'll stick to only Mets bats. Dom Smith, Pete Alonso, Lindor, Nimmo, Peraza, McNeil, McCann. All these guys have been hitting. So I think I'll take like maybe a little mini stack against Brubaker for the Mets here.
Yeah, I'll stick with Taijuan Walker like we talked about. I like him quite a bit still. And then Dom Smith, I think, is a great play at 38 on DK, 34 on FanDuel. A little pricier on FanDuel, but good discount on DK. You can go with a stack if you want, but I'll probably just have a one-off Dom Smith situation or a mini stack, because you said I won't go full in on this, but Dom Smith at his price point I like quite a bit, especially on DraftKings tonight. Toronto at Tampa Bay. We have no total on this one yet again because it's going to be Alek Manoah versus Shane McClanahan. Manoah is $7K on DK. He got a $200 price increase, and he's still 10-3 on FanDuel. He's the most expensive pitcher on FanDuel. That's how bad the pitching is tonight, folks. So, he's still ridiculously cheap on DraftKings, which I'll go right back to at $7,000. I know it's Tampa Bay, but A, it's a pitcher's ballpark, and B, it's Tampa Bay. So I'll take Manoah at that price point all day long.
Yeah, I'll take Manoah. I kind of like McClanahan as tournament play as well. He doesn't go deep, but he's great in his last 4 starts, 22 and a third, 9 earned, which is a 3.63 ERA, 24 strikeouts to 6 walks. So I like both of them, which kind of makes me off on hitters here.
Yeah, no, I don't want a ton of bats. Like, I will never tell you not to stack Toronto anytime you want to, just because that offense can explode at any moment. But for the most part, I'm not going to pay up for them with the size slate we have, unless like if you want the value, like a Lourdes Gurriel at 35. Okay, like I can see that, but I don't really want to pay up for too much in that game. It's funny how Wander Franco's up to $5,500 now. That's entertaining to me. But Alek Manoah 7K on DK. I don't know if I'll pay 10-3 on FanDuel, but 7K on DK. I'm all about that life. Oakland A's, Texas Rangers, Cole Irvin, Jordan Lyles, over under of 9 in this game. Irvin 88 and 8,000, Lyles 84 and 72. Either pitcher interest you tonight?
I kind of like them both, but on a bigger slate, we're being a little more picky. If I'm picking one, I'll pick Lyles. One start against Oakland on June 22nd, 6 innings, 2 earned, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. So not a ton of strikeouts here, but quality start was pretty solid. Irvin's been good too, which kind of makes me want to. Basically, I think Lyles is the only person I'm buying in this game. I don't want any bats because the pitching matchup looks pretty solid. So maybe Lyles and pass on pretty much everything else after that.
Yeah, I kind of feel like just passing on this game altogether. It's I could see both pitchers pitching well enough to not make a big fantasy impact type thing. And I'm just not in the mood for that. If you are going to go anywhere, you attack Lyles, but Lyles has been pretty good lately. So I really don't feel like doing that on this 14-game slate. The Rangers bats have been kind of good too, but yeah, no, I'm not going to try to talk myself into it. It's 14-game slate. We just pass on it. If it goes off, it goes off. We move along on that one. Cincinnati at Milwaukee on this one. Rake Cronenworth just made an amazing play to end the inning wow, hell of a play. Sorry about that. Cincinnati at Milwaukee. We got Wade Miley, Eric Lauer, over under of 9. Miley 97 on DK, 92 on FanDuel. Lauer 91 and 71. And Bogman, I don't mind either pitcher in this game.
I don't either, but I don't think I'm going to use either one. Look, Miley, 4 of his last 5 have been quality, but you mentioned it the other day. Milwaukee's been hitting a little bit recently. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of dangerous. I mean, I've watched Miley a lot, former Diamondback All-Star, so he can get blown up on occasion. Lauer has 2 quality starts in a row, but the Cincinnati's lineup is similar to Toronto's, where you can stack them pretty much any night. So I think this is another game I don't like, although I understand buying the hitting side more here. Obviously, 5 for 15 with 2 doubles against Miley in his career. Yelich 3 for 9 against him with a double. 2 for 6 for Castellanos with a double against Lauer. 4 for 12 for Farmer with a double. And then guys have been hitting. Votto, India, Suarez, Stevenson have all been hitting for Cincinnati and Milwaukee. These bats are hot, and not a lot of them are expensive. Willie Adames is expensive, 51, but 27 on FanDuel. 38 and 23 for Jace Peterson isn't bad. Tyrone Taylor, if he's in there, 27 21. Jackie Bradley, 36 and 21 is a cheap option as well. Urias, you got to pay up for, but he's been hitting for a couple weeks now. So I think I'm going to lean towards bats here.
Yeah, the Brewers are very, very affordable on FanDuel. I like that one quite a bit. I think I'm just going to pass in this game unless you want to be contrarian with an Eric Lauer play. I don't mind that at all, the way he's pitching right now. Miley, I'm not paying 97 on DK for. If you want to pay 92 on FanDuel, I can see the argument, but I'm just not doing it on DK. But Lauer at 91 as like an unknown play. No one's going to own him tonight. So that's just kind of one of my boomer bust pitching plays of the night. We'll see how that one goes. Detroit at Minnesota on this one. Matt Manning, Kenta Maeda over under 9.5 on this one. Manning's doesn't matter. Maeda's 71 and 73. Are you taking a chance with Kenta Maeda against these Detroit Tigers?
One of my favorite pitchers tonight is Maeda. Yeah, it looked great against Kansas City in his last start, struck out 10, really shut me up because I was like, look, I'm just going to wait for him to prove it. And he proved it. So I'm back on the Maeda train. So I'm sure that means he'll get destroyed tonight. But, there's a little PBB against him too. 4 for 10 for Scope with a bomb, 6 for 15 for Miggy with a bomb, but I mean, both those guys could have been over the last 300 years. Willie Castro, 3 for 8 against him. And then Haas has been hitting Badu, Candelario a little bit. So but in this game, I just want to stick with Maeda. That's it for me. Yeah,
I don't mind Maeda at all. Like, I can definitely see the appeal, especially as a discounted price on this slate, especially on DraftKings at 71. That's pretty nice. I like the Minnesota bats quite a bit because Matt Manning is not good. Not good at all. I had fun on Twitter his last time out, asking people, why did you start him on a 2-star week? And I was the devil for that. And I'm going to ask you again, why would you start him against the Minnesota Twins? And, give me the Kirilloffs, the Larnacks for
Donaldson
cheap.
Back
Kepler,
in the
Donaldson, like this. The Minnesota Twins. Just stack them up. And there's value. There's value to be had in that lineup that can exploit Matt Manning. So get you some Twins tonight. New York Yankees, Houston Astros. Here we go. We have no total on this one because I guess they're deciding if there's sticky stuff or not this evening. Garrett Cole versus Jake Odorizzi. Cole's 10-1 on DK, 10-6 on FanDuel. Odorizzi's 10,000 on DK, 78 on FanDuel. I just want to say one thing though. DraftKings has removed Garrett Cole from the price pool. They have Nestor Cortez in there. You tell me what you like, and I'm going to go look at see who's actually pitching.
Well, look, I didn't want Cole at that price anyway because he's looked like garbage his last couple times out. So once again, another guy that I'm not going to pay for him specifically at that price to hope that he gets right. So I think if he does, he'll get right after the All-Star break. So even if he is in there, I ain't taking him. Odorizzi is interesting. I think he's probably going to be low owned because he's going up against the Yankees, but he's been great recently. So I think, contrarian play, tournament play, however you want to say it. I think Odorizzi, he's expensive, so maybe just in FanDuel and not on DK at 10,000, but he's interesting at least. But I think I would rather go with bats on both sides in this game.
Yeah, I don't know why Cole's not starting, but I am seeing Nestor Cortez Jr. will start Friday's game against.
They probably just want to give Cole the whole break.
That's my guess. Go figure out how to pitch without the sticky. I'm gonna go. So you got Cortez at 4,000 on DK. He's not going to be on FanDuel just yet, and Cortez is stretched out to at least 60 plus pitches. I'll be honest, people. Like, the Astros bats are ridiculous, but as bad. No, I'm just saying, Bogman. I see you shaking your head. I see you're that gif right now. I see you shaking your head, but as bad as pitching is right now at $4,000, if he can get you 12, 13 points, it's cool. It's risky. Right. I get it. It's very risky, but I'd rather take Cortez than Odorizzi. Let's put it that way.
I would rather have Odorizzi.
Okay. We'll
I
see
mean,
how that
he's
one
too
goes.
expensive on DK.
Way too expensive on DK.
Yeah. So FanDuel, like I said, contrarian play, tournament play, however you want to, state it. He's been good, and the Yankees haven't been white hot. So I think it might be a decent night to play. I'm not going to do it probably anywhere. So understand that. But I get it, is what I'll say. I get going with Odorizzi here. So I think it's just bats, and I don't really, Correa, Alvarez, Altuve, Straw, Brantley, Stanton, Voit. Those are probably the bats I'm interested in.
Yeah, the Astros bats, Alvarez has been just white hot, so I like that idea. What I will say is the Yankees bullpen's pretty good. So if Cortez can give them 3 or 4, they can play the bullpen game. Not the end of the world for them. But like your Alvarez of the world, your Tuckers who's swinging a good bat. You could have a little fun in that one versus the Cortez and company. Don't mind that at all. Yankees, outside of getting shut down by Gilbert on Thursday, had 2 monster games in Seattle. So maybe they're waking up. I don't know. There's a lot to do on a 14-game slate than force in some Yankees. Washington at San Francisco. We got Espino versus Logan Webb coming off the IL. Espino 65 and 61. Webb 7,082. Either pitcher of interest for you?
No, I mean, Webb probably would have been a maybe coming off the IL. Pass. And then, I'm not going with Espino. So I wish there were more bats to pick and choose from, but neither one of these teams have really been hitting recently. So just give me maybe some of your Giants. Crawford is expensive now. All these guys are expensive. Look at Darren Ruff is 5,700.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's
asinine. 2,200. Maybe I put that in wrong. I mean,
they're always cheap on FanDuel. They're always chep on FanDuel. They screw it up.
Nobody wants to stay up late. No, it says 5,700.
No, you have the right price.
Yeah. So, I think I'm probably just a pass on this whole game.
I'll be honest. I don't mind potentially locking in both offenses. You're like, Josh Bell swinging well. Soto, Turner had 2 home runs on Thursday. You saw the discounted Alcides Escobar. You can have some fun with the national side of things. And the Giants, they have been slumping and they're expensive, but Espino goes 4 to 5 innings. Their bullpen got so used on Thursday night. They are drained. Yeah, so you got that going for you if you want to take that angle. It's pure speculations, but like Webb, how stretched out is he from his rehab? Then you got Giants bullpen, which is very suspect of late. And then you got a Washington bullpen that's got completely taxed on Thursday night in San Diego. So I think you can definitely exploit both sides of this. Probably like the Giants side more, but a lot of the Washington pieces are a little cheaper. So have some fun with that. A couple more games to go for you here. If you give a rate and review on iTunes of the podcast, we truly appreciate it. And go check out the show on the LineStar YouTube channel. Subscribe, give you a thumbs up on that one. Would mean a lot to both of us. Angels at the Seattle Mariners on this one. You got Alex Cobb versus Marco Gonzalez. Over under 8.5 on this one. Cobb's 98 on DK, 88 on FanDuel. Gonzalez 95 and 75. Either pitcher check on the box for you here.
No. Hard pass. Well, actually, I'm sorry. I got lost. Which game are we doing?
Angels, Seattle.
Okay. Yeah, I do kind of like Cobb. Quality start last time out, and Seattle, rough offense specifically recently. So I like Cobb a little bit. There's some PVB data against him, 4 for 9 for Haniger, but most of it's against Marco Gonzalez. 3 for 8 with a double and a homer for Jose Iglesias. 3 for 10 for Stassi with 2 bombs. 9 for 28 for Fletcher against him with 3 doubles, a homer, and a triple. That's 321 average. So, but I Ohtani, Walsh, if you want to pay up for the expensive guys, there's like 4 hitters on the Seattle side you can take. Fraley, Crawford, France, and Haniger is pretty much it.
Yeah, Cobb's definitely in play today because of the way the Seattle bats are swinging it. I don't mind it at 98, especially 88 on FanDuel. Could be a nice value tournament arm for you over there. So I don't mind going that route. Don't really like much hitting wise at all in this game. If you want to get a little Angels action, you can with the Ohtanis and Walshes of the world. They're expensive, and there's other pay-up spots I like quite a bit on this one. A couple more games to go for you here. We got the Arizona Diamondbacks at the Los Angeles Dodgers. Mad Bum making his return from the IL. He's 82 on DK, 74 on FanDuel. Looks like it's another bullpen game for the Dodgers since we got good old Clayton Kershaw on the IL, David Price, somebody else, who knows?
They're going to try to stretch Price out. He's not going to do it in this game, but I think they're going to try to make him back into a starter.
That would be a good start
because it looks like Voldemort is not coming back.
So. Not for a while. Yeah. So I don't really want either pitcher in this one, Bugman.
No, I'm going to pass. I mean, it's, Diamondbacks have Not a lot to pick through here. Ascab, Eduardo Escobar. Stuart Fairchild got called up the other day. He's been hitting a little bit. He's free on both at 2,000. So not a bad option if you're looking for a cheap bat. Chris Taylor, Justin Turner, Gavin Lux, Albert Pujols on the Dodgers side. But yeah, there's not a lot to pick through in this game.
Yeah, like a Max Muncy would be good. He hits lefties just fine. Chris Taylor swinging it well. Just an expensive approach. Maybe Pujols for a cheapie if you're going full stack. Otherwise, don't do it at all. But yeah, it's a tough one in that game. Last game of the night, though, Colorado Rockies, San Diego Padres. We got Freeland. We got Snell over under 8. Freeland 66 on DK, 65 on FanDuel. Snell's 83 and 76. Either pitcher checking those boxes.
No. Snell can't stay in the game. Not interested in Freeland. He's been good recently, Freeland, but his last start against San Diego is 3 2/3 with 5 earned. 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. So no, thank you. There are plenty of bats to pick through. There's guys that got all kinds of good PVB data here. Fernando Tatis, 5 of 12 with 2 doubles and a bomb against Freeland. 4 for 10 for Pham, 7 for 21 for Machado against Freeland, 8 for 24 for Myers against Freeland. And then on the Colorado side, 4 for 7 for Fuentes with a double, triple, and a homer against Snell. 3 for 5 for Daza, 4 for 10 with a double and a bomb for Crone, 4 for 10 with 2 doubles for Story, 2 for 7 and a bomb for Elias Diaz, who has been hitting real hot recently. And then there's other hot hitters: Hampson, McMahon, Blackman, Grisham, Hosmer, Profar. Stack both sides of this game if you feel like it, because I feel like this is going to be another 8-8 game like we've got going on, or 9-8 as the Padres
just walked it off. Yep.
Right.
Freeland's been actually pretty good of late, but it is that Padres offense. So as we were saying, stack them up. Freeland will probably go 7 strong and shut them down, because that's the way things go these days. Looking at you, J.A. Happ. So, yeah, Freeland is going to be interesting. We always stack against Snell, so that's fine. Even with the road Rockies, you mentioned most of those guys, Hampson, Rogers, Story, and company there. Even C.J. Cron could be interesting. So there's some value to be had with the Rockies. But, yeah, Padres will be very popular, expensive. But Tommy Pham at 45 and 25 is actually pretty decent. Will Myers, you mentioned him as well. So Trent Grisham's actually hitting lefties. Him and Cronenworth both hit lefties just fine. So stack up your Padres as you see fit. All right, recapping things real quick. Bogman, who are your top pitchers on this slate?
Well, for me, I've got Maeda and Manoah, probably 1-2. I like Cobb, some mix of Cobb, Lyles, McClanahan, Walker, and Thompson as my secondary guys.
That shows you just how great the top pitching is, because that you went way down the price board. I'm with you on Manoah and Maeda. I also like Zach Thompson as another cheapie as well. So you got those 3 cheapies, and then you got the likes of Taijuan Walker in the middle. And then, yeah, it's ugly. It's ugly. So that's where I'm at for now. But when we saw lineups come out the other day, I changed my mind on some things in the chats that I'm in. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get some things to make it a little more appealing for us. So much offense on this slate, Bogman. Where are you stacking things up?
I mean, there's so many stackable games, like you said. Colorado, San Diego, either side. I think you can stack either, mini stack for the Diamondbacks hitters or Dodgers. Washington and San Francisco, I think you can stack. Minnesota versus Detroit, Cleveland versus Kansas City, White Sox and Baltimore either side, and maybe Philly or Boston either side as well.
Yeah, no, I like that. White Sox over Baltimore definitely checks the box. Baltimore coming back is interesting as well. But like those, Philadelphia jacked up on that one, like Chip on Mountain Dew. So we'll go that route. Cleveland, I want to play them so bad. Their offense is just so bad too. But Cincinnati, Milwaukee game, I like the pitchers, but I'm watching that one real closely. Minnesota, like that one quite a bit. So Philly and Minnesota are my top 2. That's for sure. And then you can mix and match some other spots as well. What you can also do is go check out LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB, and look for the home run calls of the day, where Bogman, myself, and Ryan Humphreys will all give you our home run calls of the day, and LineStar will tweet them out. And if you retweet the tweet, 3 lucky retweeters will be paired with each one of us. And if one of our guy goes deep, you win some free swag. So whoever is paired up with me and Franmil Reyes, you got some swag. It's a beautiful thing we got going on here. So Bogman, on our final game of the first half, Friday, July 9th, who's your home run call today?
Give me Jose Abreu. I'm going to go with an earlier game here. Get my homer out of the way before the weekend goes. So give me Jose Abreu against Baltimore.
I like that one. That was on my short list, but not my top pick, but that's a very, very strong one. My top pick's a guy I'm going back to. I've been riding the hot bat. He did not go deep for me last time, but Garrett Richards, no bueno So give me some Bryce Harper in Fenway Park. Bryce Harper, Fenway Park. Those guys like to show up in the big stage at the big stadiums. So Bryce Harper, Fenway Park, going deep. You got Jose Abreu. I like both our chances. So when Humphreys picks the third, maybe we finish the first half with our first three-peat. We've been so close.
Let's go.
We've been so close. Let's do it, Humphreys. Pressure's on you now, bud. But everybody, I hope you guys have a fun week. Enjoy your time off because I know we will. We'll be back with you guys next Friday with probably another 14 to 15 game slate just to bring you guys back to the break. You can check out Bogman on Twitter at Bogman Sports. I'm on Twitter at BDNJ. You guys have a great time. Enjoy the All-Star break. We'll see you guys next time.
See you in a week. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to LineStarApp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.